Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to UFRL. And tonight is Tier 2 action live from Abu Dhabi. So 19 drivers on track, 18 minutes of qualifying, followed by a 50% race distance. Using, of course, a softs, mediums and hards, as it will be a dry race here at Abu Dhabi, and it will also be a night race come the end of the Grand Prix. So a lot of things to look forward to, as a few drivers will start to prepare to head out onto the track. And the first being the Ferrari, and it will be Angry Badger taking to the track. You've also got a Haas, got a Williams, you've got a Kick Sauber as well, and a Red Bull just closely following them. So 5 drivers already are taking to the track here. And I've got to say, the tunnel on the exit of the pit is very nice as well. So a very good design, I've got to say, for Abu Dhabi. Good luck, Aston Martin, says Coffee. Good evening as well. Yeah, indeed. So you've got both Iceman and you've got Dutch Beast showing their talents this evening. Again, 19 drivers will all try and push on, similar to what Boy Knockout achieved last week, where he got the victory at Shanghai, China. So Boy Knockout racing again tonight. Can he continue that form? We've also got Silky Stevens, who has been in an impressive form this season. I got Gandalf, who is not racing this evening. ARC Mickey has had his struggles this season, but can this be the race where he gets himself back into a potential title push? You've got Destroyer Drac out there. You've got, who else could be competitive near the front? Wovaner, Viking Fox. These are the types of drivers who can really push on with plenty of pace as well. And Spills, a new Tier 2 driver, making his debut this evening. And V-Rao as well on for his second race. And see what he can do. Ivy reserving up from Tier 3. You've got Iceman, 86, the reigning Tier 3 champion as well. So yeah, 19 drivers to go. And Angry Badger is the first one to attempt some form of a lap here. So we're just going to stick on with him. Thank you, Wizard Rex. Yes, I mean, do my best, obviously, as everyone will do. But let's see what Badger could do. He's just going to head all the way into turn 6 and 7. Again, a fantastic overtaking opportunity here through 6 and into 7. Maybe not want to be side by side through there, but you do definitely want to make a move before you head into 6. But if you don't make a move into 6, guess what? You've got another chance heading through into turn 9, round at the hairpin as well. So a great opportunity for the drivers to make their overtakes and make their positions their own here, as Badger pushes into sector 3, heading through turns 10, 11 and through the right hander at turn 12, hitting the inside curve quite nicely. And again, a very twisty section here in sector 3. You've got to get right, and unfortunately Badger just not quite hitting it. So in the end, we would have lost a bit of time there, Badger, but now entering through at 16 and a final corner. So Badger 24-1, and that'll be the opening lap time for him. You've got the Haas of Viking Fox coming up to line 23.5. That's him going quickest now, and that is up to a P1. A few drivers will be taking their engine penalties this evening. Silky Stevens heads to the top of the charts. ARC Mickey with a qualifying ban alongside Destroyer Drac this evening as well. And Warner goes 4th, 24-2 for him. Potentially a little bit disappointing, in fact. But Silky Stevens, the quickest of the 4 runners so far. You've got the debutant Spills coming round as well, as there is a Mercedes coming through. Potentially that'll be Willie Fernandez. And Willie Fernandez starting a lap as Spills goes 5th fastest, 24-4, just between Wovaner and Mr. Potwash, who is into 6th. William just starting his lap as well. You've got V-Rao. V-Rao goes 2nd fastest. It's a 23.492 to kickstart his qualifying session. A strong lap player, and Ivy as well, reserving tonight from Tier 3. Ivy 6th fastest, 24.290. Marginal with Wovaner. And don't forget how quick Wovaner was in Tier 3 last season. Ivy was never quite at that height of the likes of Wovaner and even Jack Amu as well, but he's shown pretty strong pace here so far. But yes, ARC Mickey and Destroyer Jack, of course, serving qualifying bans this evening, so they are retiring Woody with an engine penalty. There are 2 other drivers, Rotti being one of them. Let's hope he understands the situation where he needs to retire the car. And I think may have actually given a slipstream to William, of course, there. Which you can do when you've got an engine penalty. You can't do when you've got a qualifying ban. You can do it when you have an engine penalty. But you shouldn't do it too late. Good evening, Cowley. Yes, let's see, as Rotty then. You expect he will enter the pit. Let's go towards his teammate then, Willie Fernandez. As Silky Stevens still the one to beat ahead of V-Row and Viking. But here comes William to the line. And it's P8 for William, 124.440 behind the Ferrari. Got the Aston Martin of Dutch Beast as well, just on a lap, and the Aston just pushing wide and making sure he stays within track limits, heading through out of turn 14, leading now into 15 and 16, and Dutch Beast will track down to the line. It will be a 23.6, and it will be a second row for Dutch Beast in the Aston Martin, so he's up the order. We'll be hoping that Iceman 86, hopefully he'll get a qualifying lap in this evening. We know sometimes, particularly when he was in Tier 3, he was keener on starting near the back. I'm hoping tonight he does put in a qualifying lap to at least start ahead of loads with engine penalties and qualifying bans. Epic Frenchie just starting to head out as well, in just about to head into the middle sector. In fact, he is in the middle sector rather. But let's see who else. So William obviously just set his run. Any of these top two? I mean, Silky Stevens, he's trying to push on, but I get the impression he will just be going into the pits. He is almost half a second down on his current time. And Silky Stevens peels in and will enter the pit. Oh, he's out! Silky's out in qualifying! He bashes into the wall! The wheel is off! No, the wheels aren't off in a good way. Silky Stevens crashes out into the pit wall. Dramatic scenes in qualifying already. Silky Stevens, well, is that enough for him to get pole position? That remains to be seen, but Silky has crashed out into the Abu Dhabi pit wall. Incredible. Dutch Beast, and he enters the pit lane. That's how you enter the pit lane, Silky Stevens. I think someone just needs to make sure he does not do that in the race. At least he's got a good time under his belt. If he did not have that time, he would have a problem. Yeah, Silky Stevens, we saw that. We fully saw that on stream as well. So if somebody wants to clip that, feel free, obviously. But, you know, it's up to you. I'm sure Silky Stevens won't plan on clipping that. Willie Fernandez said it's going out. Crazy indeed it was. That was mental out of nowhere. Yes, indeed, Cowley. But hey, anything can happen, and that's why you've got to keep it together in the race, as difficult as it can be. And with that lap time, you may still be in the front 2 rows, 3 rows at the very least, I think. You should start in the top 6, I'd imagine. I mean, who else can really get ahead of that from those who are behind you? You expect Warner to go quicker, I think. Viking might have a chance. V-Val might have a chance. Beast has retired as well, by the way. So the Aston Martin also deciding a 23.6 is the best he will do. I blame Deck for not showing me how to do the pits. Let's see what William can do. He's in none on the battery mode, so he's obviously abandoned his lap. Oh no, he does actually go quicker there with a 24.2, but potentially William has more time to gain. Top 6 would be good. Easiest part of the track, says Cowley. Yeah, that was pretty crazy though. Pretty crazy. It's only qualifying as well. But again, if you want to make that error, do it in qualifying. Don't do it in the race. So, fingers crossed, you don't do it in the race. Unless you want to give us more excitement, of course. Epic Frenchie, 23.5, goes 4th fastest, not far behind our Silky, V-Val and Viking, also just 6 thousandths ahead of him. So a good grid slot for Epic Frenchie, who has been improving off late, I've got to say, Frenchie, especially in qualifying now, 4th fastest. But again, you've got drivers like a Mickey, like a Drac, like a Boy Knockout. Woody can do well in qualifying. You've still got Salty to go out there as well. So plenty of drivers who are either serving engine penalties, qualifying bans, or yet to set a lap time. So yeah, plenty can still happen here. But Epic Frenchie there in a good position. Dutch Beast left the session, where I presume he will just get an invitation back in. Let's head down the field to Woody Fernandez again, not on a run. What about Angry Badger? He is on a hot lap into turns 1 and 2. Just a little bit shaky on the exit of 2 as well. We'll have a little look further down, see if anyone's on that. Pot wash up by half a second into the final sector, but he's burnt so much of his battery So he's not going to have much of a chance to really improve through the final sector unless he absolutely nails it down. But at half a second, it's not really going to gain him too much in terms of track position. You might be able to get ahead of those on a 24-2. Maybe Angry Badger at an absolute push. But he needs to nail down the final sector. Has he nailed down the final sector to the line? No. I mean, it wasn't a bad final sector. Lost a bit of time, but does remain P12 just behind Spills. Spills on a lap, also gaining by about 0.2 of a second. Where's Woviner? Woviner just about to start his lap, and he also got Viking Fox, who is improving. It's pole! Provisional pole for Viking Fox. 23.283. Silky is top no more. And he has been bypassed. Spills does not improve and remains P11 for the Ferrari. But Viking Fox then topples Silky Stevens' lap time and is the quickest driver in qualifying so far. DD Friend is on a lap 54.2 through the middle sector. Silky Stevens. Obviously now he knows he won't be getting pole position, but you also don't get a pole position point, which nobody can get anyway, so it's not the worst scenario for you. As our DD Friend there, 24.9 with his first time in P13. Iceman 86 still in the pits. Again, it would have been better for him to set a time. Even if it's a bad time, you would at least still start ahead of 5 drivers. So that's obviously the risk he's deciding to take. I've just popped the link into the TikTok. I might actually be able to do it into the Twitch as well. Thank you for the follow to Andrea. I'm going to say it. I think it might be Andrea, but thank you for the follow anyways. And yeah, I will pop the link to join the Discord into the Twitch as well. So if anybody does want to join, you can join on that. Also, good evening to Hazer. I don't know, are you racing tonight, Hazer? You might have your community thingy in the esports. But either way, the link has now been posted then for both the TikTok and the Twitch. So if anybody wants to join, feel free to join on those links. And we have not missed anything too major. It seems Woviner still out there, but did not improve on his lap time. What about Badger? Not improving into the pits. He goes Ivy also into the pits. And look at them. They both enter the pits nicely. Unlike Kip Sauber. I'm joking. Sorry. You know I'm going to have to say that a few times in this stream tonight, don't you? Especially that we saw it. We saw it fully. I am but casually 15 minutes waiting in the lobby. You normally wait there for about half an hour, to be fair, so that's not too bad. I bet Pesci, I mean, he's obviously your TP, he must be kidding you. The fact that you sit in the lobby for half an hour, he's probably like, why aren't you getting more practice in? Thank you for the follow, Melon. Hope you're doing good as well. Yes, DD Friend in P13. The only driver who I do believe is on a lap. I might just double check on Woviner. I'll move away from Woviner because he's not on a lap. So back to DD Friend, who is improving through the first sector, only just by 9 thousandths of a second. Let's see, can he gain more time through the middle sector? He still needs to gain half a second in total. Viking Fox now deciding with over 4 minutes to go that he is done in qualifying. A lot of drivers are opting to only go for 1 or 2 runs at a push. They are not wanting to use all 3 sets of tyres here, which is interesting. So you've got Viking, Silky, although obviously not his decision, Dutch Beast, and then you've got the bottom 6, Iceman seemingly not setting a lap here. But yeah, so many drivers have already retired from the session, whether it's their own fault or a qualifying ban or an engine penalty. You know, wow. So many drivers, so we've only got, what, 6, 8, 10 drivers, potentially Iceman as well. But not many drivers still to go out there. 10 drivers, maybe 11 depending on Iceman. That's, yeah, I mean, that's half the grid obviously, so just over. Willie Fernandez is on a lap and he's into the middle sector. We did not see if he improved through the first sector, but let's see if he can improve through the second, heading into the chicane through turn 6 and 7. Got to take it nicely on the left, and again you want to ride a little bit onto the right hand side, which he does, finding the exit speed there to get the DRS wide open on the exit of the chicane and heading all the way into the hairpin at turn 9, and the delta for Fernandez will be plus 0.3 of a second. So quite clearly William backing off and deciding he is not going to be improving, I do believe. Well, then again, he is pushing the battery once again, so maybe he is. It's interesting in qualifying though that he's going none a lot. I would have thought maybe it would have been better served going medium and then a hot lap more often than going none. None does slow you down a lot. He is going into the pits 2.5 minutes to go, and he does just about avoid the wall as well. Up the kick, says Dick. Well, they're definitely kicking themselves after that Silky Stevens DNF. But yes, up the kick, I suppose. Where's his teammate? Oh, wait, he ain't got a teammate tonight. Oh, yeah. Who would it be? Who was their teammate? Oh, yeah, it was Jack, wasn't it? Thought Kick Sauber would have had maybe Ziggy could have reserved up this evening, even if he would have been at the back. It would have been better than nothing, I suppose. So I would have expected Ziggy really to have maybe got decided, you know what, I'm going to reserve up and just get a couple of points even. But obviously that's not the case. But he should get a tier 2 driver very soon. So there are seats available, by the way, for people who are wondering and maybe you've joined the Discord or not. But there are a couple of seats now available in tier 1. I think there's still 1, maybe 2 in tier 2. And I'm pretty sure very similar in tier 3. There's not that many seats available though in total. You're probably saying maybe up to about 5 or 6 seats still available across the 3 tiers combined. And it is pace-based as well, obviously. Tier 1 Monday, Tier 2 Tuesday, Tier 3 on the Wednesday. But you do have other races. On the Friday night, we do a full 100% tier race, where the Tier 1 drivers are all fighting out in the Elite tier. And then the development tier is for like Tier 2 and 3 drivers, effectively. They all compete in the same race, as Spills improving by about half a tenth. But yeah, they all improve. They all compete in the same race, but they compete for different championships. And you also typically have a Tier 1 driver partnered with a Tier 2 or Tier 3 driver to give a chance for the constructors. And then you've also got the International Tier on Saturday. That's a 9 o'clock start, so that's 1 hour later. But yes, the International Tier, mixed tier race, that one. And that is on a Saturday evening as our VRAL this time goes to the quickest, 23.184. So Viking and Silky have been bypassed already, looking good for the Red Bull of VRAL. And he looks pacey there. It's like he's been in tier 1 before with that amount of pace. As you've got Wavada just firing into the middle sector as well. And then you've got the Ferrari further back. That'll be Spills gaining by a couple of tenths of a second. Spills up to the line. Does lose a tenth through the final sector, 24.3. That'll be his qualifying over, although he did actually get to the line in time to start another lap. Obviously, that's him done. It's P11 for Spills. Mr. Potwash gaining by 3 tenths. That's more like it from the V-Carb. Can he get himself into the 23s? That would be an outstanding effort from Mr. Potwash here. Here he comes for the V-Carb, Mr. Potwash. It's a 23.9. It's P8 for Potwash. He'll be happy with that effort, I'm sure. And he is up the order. Salty Stevens is improving marginally. He's got the McLaren right behind him. That'll be DD Friend. Salty to the line. It's P6 for Salty. P8 for DD. Wavada comes into P4. So Wavada is up the order. You've got Ivy in 10th. Spills will not improve. And that is qualifying completed. And VRAL is on pole position here with a 1:23.184. Viking Fox locked into second with Silky Stevens and Wavana joining on row 2. So there you go, just waiting on the final car, and that will be Spills. Looks like he might have run out of fuel as well. Let's see how slow the car is when you've got the hard fuel mode on. If I start on the second row, I'm happy to see Silky Stevens. Well, you're on the second row. You're P3. You might have spoken too soon, Wizard. Oh, which one was that on? VRAL, maybe Viking? Could have been on anyone, to be honest with you. Either way, Spills is into the pits now, so it will be a P13. But there you go. VRAL on pole position this evening. But yeah, let's see what the race will do. Obviously, we will have a typical 5-minute break before we get down to the race. So the drivers can get all of their, whether they want to change anything in the setups. Obviously, you've got Park Fermate on. You can still adjust things such as your front wing, tyre pressures as well, and 1 or 2 other things as well. So there's still plenty that you can change here as we go from qualifying into the race. And obviously, you're going to change your fuel, you're going to change your strategies. So there's a few factors into play. And obviously, what tyre does everybody want to start on? That will be the next question. You can start on softs, mediums, or hards, of course. It will be a dry race. Right, the full qualifying results then. Vival on pole, 123.184. And wrapping it up, Viking Fox in P2, just a 10th away. And then you've got Selkie Stevens alongside Warren on row 2. Epic Frenchy third from Dutch Beast on the third row. With Salty Stevens alongside DB Friend on row 4. A fifth row into the top 10, Mr. Potwash alongside a tier 3 reserve of Ivy. Andrew Badder in P11 ahead of William. With Spills P13 on his debut. Boy Knockout, you got Rotty, Ruddy, Mickey, Iceman. And there was one driver I didn't quite see right at the bottom of the screen. And that driver was Destroyer Drac in P19. And there you go, the drivers will be awaiting to kickstart this event, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes' time.
the roar of the crowd can only mean one thing really. Race day has arrived here in Abu Dhabi, and it's time to join our teams who are getting ready down on the grid. The drivers will be racing here at the Yas Marina circuit through 16 corners and a lap distance of around 3.28 miles. There are a few opportunities to pass with long straights and DRS zones in 2 places, so plenty of close racing, then plenty of speed and plenty of drama to be found in the laps ahead.
And box now, box now, box for hard.
Right, and we will be getting started here at Abu Dhabi in just a moment as Silky Stevens enjoying a little pit stop with Charles Leclerc, and that'll be on the Twitch obviously because sound alerts are on Twitch, unfortunately are not on the TikTok. Right, here we go. This is UFRL and this is Tier 2. Welcome to Abu Dhabi. It's 5 red lights. And the lights are going to go out. It's go, go, go. And V-Row at the front from Viking Fox side by side. And it will be V-Row leading into turn 1. Side by side with the 2 drivers of Viking and Silky. Silky sails round the outside. And up into second place he goes. And then to Wovana. Wovana going for the move round the outside. But he holds off, stays in P4. But will you have a little look on the outside or even the inside? Having a look there is the McLaren of Frenchie. And side by side there, well, what's that? Dutch Beast goes wide. Beast goes off, and Beast losing out to the McLaren of DD friend as well. You've got Ivy going for an attack as well, and further up the field for the lead of the race, Silky Stevens trying to draw alongside V-Row, but V-Row permits and remains in P1. But what can Silky do on the exit? He's all over him. He's going to go all guns blazing on the medium tyres for the overtaking to the hairpin at turn 9. Side by side, down on the inside, Silky Stevens, and he's got the race lead. Up the order he goes, battling for the championship, and he will want to make a statement here this evening. But V-Row following closely on hards, and he is into second after starting on pole. Viking Fox still there in P3, and Warner and Frenchie following in the top 5. And Salty, Potwash, DD friend just dropping back a little bit in the McLaren with the Papaya under pressure from Ivy and Knockout. Dutch Beast also dropping adrift in P11. Spills, Rotti, Drac up the order. Drac after starting in last position, and Dutch Beast now is into the pits. So Dutch Beast opting, he needs to pit on the opening lap of the Grand Prix. A bit of an error potentially, maybe a bit of damage for his car. In terms of the tyre situation, it's mediums and hards all round for all the drivers, but it's mediums for the majority of the field. About 1/3 of the drivers on the hard compound of tyre. As you can see there, Destroyer Drac closing the gap towards Rotti, but it will be a battle all the way until the end of this race. V-Row back ahead of Silky. Silky has another look on the inside, going for the move. Not quite making it here, but still looking to go side by side and a bit wide. Through goes Viking. Viking Fox taking the pressure off and applying the burn to the kick Sauber. Warner as well trying to take action. Also the Papaya McLaren going side by side. Epic Frenchie on the outside of Warner. Side by side through turn 9 and beyond into 10. A slip and a slide from Warner, and Salty makes his way up the order. They will go side by side, but Salty has the position, and Salty Stevens is up into P5. He has got the place done. What about Potwash? Can he put Wovana under a little bit of pressure as well? Not quite close enough. He's had a good start, Potwash, in P7, but that top 7 seem to be clear at the moment as Ivy tries to close the gap with Boy Knockout and DD Friend in P10, but he's also getting there. Spills 26.5. He's got the fastest lap in P11. That is how close the field are. All the way down to P15. It is a DRS train here in Abu Dhabi after 2 laps completed as well. And now Salty Stevens is going to have a look on the inside of Epic Frenchie, backs away and holds out and stays in 5th. For 2 Williams, P5 and P6, they'll be happy with that effort in their Constructors' Championship bid this season. Pesci has got that Williams team firing for the title as Salty Stevens closing and overtaking Epic Frenchie into the chicane through and turn 6 and 7 side by side, continuing the fight. Off goes the Williams, but he makes his way through. Salty Stevens up at a 4th, but he is outside of the 1 second window now into the top 3. VRAL under pressure from Viking Fox. Has Viking got a chance? A bit of a snap there from VRAL, and Viking through on the inside. He gets through on the inside and bypasses the Red Bull, and up into P1 goes Viking Fox. He's on the hard tyres as well, so he's had an excellent start battling with VRAL and Silky Stevens. That is your top 3, as Salty Stevens needs to do all he can to track down that front 3. But it's Viking from VRAL, from Silky. Will VRAL go for a risky move into turn 1 here on lap 4? No, he won't. He stays in behind, and that top 3 trying to pull clear, but Salty Stevens has drawn the cards and is right back in there within the 1 second window for DRS. And that battle again goes down to P15, although Spills has dropped out at 1.2 seconds now, so he is the one who will likely be overtaken by Destroyer Jack, who has made a flying start, and he is approaching a place in the top 10. Started P19, Destroyer Jack. He looks like he is about to make his way up into the top 10, but here comes VRAL. He has a look. Silky as well. Silky Stevens having to move out there. Salty Stevens right in behind as well. Boy Knockout going for the move, this time on his teammate Potwash. Incredible lag there from Boy Knockout, but he's up into P7. Moves being made further back as well. ARC Mickey is up the order, but let's go for back to the top. VRAL side by side once again with Viking Fox. Destroyer Jack is in the top 10 ahead of Spills now, but Viking and VRAL still going side by side. Immense battling here, and VRAL succeeds and is back up into P1, but Viking Fox trying to hang it on the inside. In the end, has to drop in behind and stays second place, but they are all pushing hard. Salty Stevens up 3 spots from the start, up into the top 4 as well, so he has made a great getaway here. Warren are dropping a couple of spots down to 6th. Obviously did make a bit of an error through the early couple of laps though, but Boy Knockout up the order, 7 spots already from P14 to P7. Him and Destroyer Jack, the biggest gainers on the opening 5 laps in this Grand Prix. But it's still VRAL leading the way. Epic Frenchie now through on Salty as he side by side. Is a bit of a collision potentially further back, and it's between Spills and somebody else, maybe Iceman getting in there, and it is a full course safety car here at Abu Dhabi. What do you do now? The tyre situation may change. Dutch Beast is into the pit. He is the first one who is going to make a change. He's going to change his front wing as well, and he will go for the medium compound of tyre. But it is a full course safety car, and Spills, I do believe, must have some front wing damage as well. Yep, very much certain. He definitely has a bit of front wing damage, a lot of front wing damage on that Ferrari. In P18, so he obviously will have to repair the car. Angry Badger and Woody, something happened between those two, but obviously P13, P14, they must remain in their same position. Right, VRAL, what does he do? Will he stay out, or will he pit? If I was on hard, I would stay out, says Edits. Well, that's the thing. I mean, you can go medium now. If you were to pit, and you've got to factor in those on the medium tyres are likely to pit as well. If you're on mediums, you're probably going to look towards the hard tyres here. It looks like Mickey and Badger also having something going on. Badger had something with Woody as well, so obviously a couple of moves being made further down. But let's see, anything happening here? Yes, VRAL. Oh! Well, VRAL maybe decided that he wanted that. Oh, I'm going to be honest, he could even get a penalty for that. He could. He could get a penalty for that. He looked like he was going to pit, and then straight lined it pretty much. That could be a penalty for VRAL there, quite easily. He obviously stays out in the end, but it looked like he was going to pit. So, could be a bit of a question mark on VRAL there. Viking Fox obviously stays out, but a few drivers have pitted. I'll say a few, more than half the grid are into the pits here on lap 6. So they will be going for the hard tyres, and that may be them going to the end. Everybody bar Dutch Beast on hards as well. Ziggy. Cross the white line, that's a penalty, says Ziggy. Well, yeah, it may very well be a penalty as well. I don't know if you're able to. Are you able to clip that at all? If you are, then that would be stunning. I don't know, that might have even been... Mr. P may have already got it on the race control, but if not, it would be ideal, obviously. Saves me having to think to go back to it, because I'll forget. Unless you just note it down. Maybe just message me, and then I'll get back to it at the end of the race, innit? But yeah, Vival, Viking, Frenchie, Boy Knockout, Mickey, Badger and William all staying on their hard tyres. I still think in that scenario, I think I would have pitted for mediums, to be honest. Because you're going to still have to pit again. You know, on 5-lap old hards, you can't go one set to the end. You've obviously got to pit anyway. So I would have gone mediums, which the hard tyre runners, yes, they can go to the end, but they're obviously not going to be particularly quick near the end either. And who knows, there might still be another safety car. Safety cars are on increased as well. So it's increased safety car, increased red flags as well, which we still have not had a single red flag on F124 and UFRL, even though the fair chunk of that has been on increased, or standard obviously, but for the last season or so I think it's been on increased. So yeah, no red flags, obviously we don't get too many safety cars as well. Again, being on increased, the reason why it's on increased is because we weren't getting as many as we were kind of wanting in a way. Because let's be honest, safety cars are a key part of Formula 1. And yes, sometimes you don't want to be driving under the safety car too much, but 1 or 2 a race is not a problem. The only factor with increased is that it normally comes out if there's a bit of front wing damage. So for Spills, for example, it came out because he lost his whole wing. And you kind of question, could that not have just been a virtual safety car? Maybe, but obviously the game with increased safety cars puts it as a full course instead. Yeah, the top 7 all staying on their hard tyres that they started the race on. That's going to be a little bit riskier. Obviously, all the drivers trying to warm up their tyres. Again, factoring in on the game now, they did fix the glitch that if you were in the pause menu, you could gain tyre temperatures compared to if you're trying to warm the tyres up yourself. Nowadays, that cannot happen. If you're in the pause menu, your tyre temps are going down. So you need to be trying to warm the tyres up somehow yourself. Right, safety car in this lap. Good evening, Baker Gaming. Come on, the Williams, he says. Former, I think you were Red Bull last season, if I remember right. Yeah, obviously in the Williams this season, and your 2 drivers, well, you've got Salty Stevens P9, Warren a P14. Warren would have been held up by his teammate in the pit as well. So Warren are now dropping down to P14. They were pretty much like with each other. I think they were P5, P6 around that area. As Doug says, good evening to Bakey Gaming as well. Let's see what VVAL can do on this restart. We're going to get the telemetry up just for the restart as well. Make sure it is a clean getaway. Obviously, you need to wait for the safety car to be into the pit as well. So let's hope he's able to do that. And he is now full throttle, so you can't go off the full throttle. Just make sure he stays full throttle. Yeah, he pretty much does. So it is a clean safety car restart from VVAL. Let's go away from that. And he's away. So Viking Fox, and you've got Epic Frenchie, a close runner there. Silky Stevens is straight away looking at that. And here comes Salty Stevens around the outside, battling with Potwash. He's actually gone off track, and Potwash now has a potential look on the inside. He holds out and stays in behind. Further up the field, Boy Knockout closing in and going for the overtake round the outside. He goes. Will he go for a little switchback manoeuvre here on the McLaren? But the Papaya will stay ahead. Down the long straight into turn 6 they go. So it is still Vival rather, leading this race. But here comes Boy Knockout. He goes through on Epic Frenchie and up onto the podium. Silky Stevens also down the inside on William. The freshest tyres on the car off the kick Sauber, and up into 7th place he goes. Not DNFing into a pit wall, by the way, when he entered the pits. Critical to mention, of course. Here comes Silky then. He's going down the inside on Andrew Badger. He's going for 2 on the same lap. And Silky Stevens, has he made it happen? Oh, yes, he has. Silky up into P6. The Ferrari will try and fight back, but he's unable to deliver. And that is Silky Stevens up into 6th place. Great safety car restart from him, and he'll be happy with lap 8. Can he march on lap 9 the next lap? But Salty Stevens' brother receives a 3-second time penalty for the Williams. The first team or driver to receive a penalty this evening, and that is Salty Stevens. Epic Frenchie then. He is going to try and make some moves, but we're going to have to drop back a bit because Mr. Potwash is attacking Salty Stevens He's had a pretty decent start, to be fair. Potwash and Salty as well, all trying to get their way through as a couple of penalties flying around. Badger picking up one, and Rotti likewise. Rotti will also be under threat here. Side-by-side action going ahead. ARC Mickey with Silky Stevens. A lot of battling further in behind. You've got Ivy through and Woody. Side-by-side, those two go. And also Destroyer Drac passing Iceman. The P15 is now trying to get the place on Rotti, and he has succeeded at that as well. We're going to have to keep dropping back on the order. As you can see, Salty Stevens there is trying to battle with William. The Ivy, Woody, this is chaotic. This is absolutely critical to avoid any carnage. Wobbin ahead of Woody. Got Salty overtaking William as well. There are 2 or 3-way battles happening left, right and centre here. Ivy attacking or being attacked by Wobbiner on the inside line. Still side by side, Ivy holds out, staying in P10. Then it's Wobbiner, then Destroyer Drac up the order into P12. Rotti from Potwash, and Potwash has dropped a few places now on the safety car restart. Not an ideal situation for the V-Carb. Iceman 86, the reigning Tier 3 champion ahead of Woody. And you've got DD Friend, Dutch Beast and Spills in what is a relatively close-paced tier at the moment, in terms of all the drivers pretty much sticking together. But who is the closest? That will be Wobbiner, who is closing in. And there you go, Salty Stevens through an angry Badger round the outside as well. A swooping overtake from Salty, and up into 7th he goes on his fresher hard tyres, 4 laps old. So he's still in a decent place, but he needs to try and close the gap to that top 6. But again, he's got 5 lap fresher tyres. He has still got a chance here. William, and there's Wobbiner side by side with Ivy. These two continuing to battle. Destroyer Drac will have a good view of that one, but let's see these two keep on going at it, and into turn 6 and 7 into the chicane they go. Wobbiner on the inside, and he is attacking Ivy. Ivy now got the inside line, still side by side, but it is Wobbiner who comes out on top in that little mini battle, and he is through. What about Destroyer Drac? He's going to go to the inside on the Alpine of his own teammate, and Destroyer Drac up into P11. Ivy drops out surely, and indeed he does. Down to P12 he goes, up the field. V-Row side by side with Viking on the inside, but now Viking trying to hold the inside line. V-Row round the outside. He will now have the inside line, but it is V-Row who is just about ahead, and Boy Knockout trying to enter in as well. And then it's Epic Frenchie. Frenchie getting ever so close to the V-Carb. No contact made. And that top 6 continue to march on, but a gap to Salty Stevens is getting slimmer by the lap here. He's down to within 1 second as well, as is Angry Badger. So those 8 drivers are all within DRS range, and then the next DRS pack is from P9 down to P12. Side by side there, Silky Stevens having a look on the inside of Epic Frenchie. Oh, he's had a spin! He's had a spin! Silky Stevens! Contact with, I believe, Epic Frenchie. I may have been wrong. I might have been maybe Mickey even, but I think it was between Frenchie and Silky Stevens having that spin down to P11. He is now going to go for the overtake on Destroyer Drac or William. Easy going to have a look. You've got Ivy in there as well, side by side battling. A horrible view. That's a better view. Wobbiner with Destroyer Drac. I think Drac may have a chance here. Does he have a shot? He is going through. Woody's left the session. He will need an invite back in. But it is Destroyer Drac up into P8. Further up the field, V-Row is ahead of Viking, but those two continue to scrap and go side by side. And in the end, Viking Fox is on top and back up into P1. So he just about holds on. Boy Knockout P3 from Frenchie, Mickey, Salty and Steel Badger as well in there. He's just hanging on in that Ferrari. But the battles are continuing to occur further back. William on Silky. Spills overtaking Woody's disconnected car. That would of course get an invite back in, and there you go. Right, Silky Stevens then all over the rear and charging on William. Can he get the move done? He's going to go down the inside. Silky Stevens, and he's up into the top 10 now. So he does get through, although may have just gone marginally off track even there. William just having to lift off the throttle, and he will surely make an easy overtake down the long straight. Silky Stevens may be under pressure here from not just William. You've got Ivy, don't forget. You've got Iceman, you've got Potwash, all within close vicinity. Will Silky lose more than one spot? Let's go up the field though. The race leaders Boy Knockout with V-Row in the battle with Viking Fox, dropping out down the order, and really dropping down now because Epic Frenchie's arrived. Frenchie having a look on the outside line, unable to take the place going back up towards Viral. 2 tenths, 1.5 tenths, down to a tenth. He had a look on the inside, he almost slips. He almost fully slipped his car. Lucky to keep it running as Viking Fox back on the inside now on Epic Frenchie, and back up onto the podium he goes. He still has strong pace here, Viking, and he's got another place. Then he got Frenchie, Salty, Mickey and Badger still firmly in there. Destroyer Jack 1.3 seconds adrift. He is closing the gap. Silky Stevens making moves. He is trying his best as William. What's happened to William? And William has got some damage here. And Willie Fernandez. What has happened? There is a full course safety car now. William is all the way round. Iceman's into the pits. Spills Joy. Ivy rather is also into the pits. The Alpine, the Aston Martin and Mercedes. Luckily they have all got past the safety car, so they can now pit. And now was your chance to go mediums to the end. And obviously, every driver can only go mediums to the end. There's not going to be much variety in the strategy game, I will tell you that. Because every driver, I'm pretty certain at the stage, has used a set of hard tyres. So nobody's going to go for hard. They've all got to go medium tyres. So no variety in strategy here. But there you go. Ivy, you've got Iceman, 86, and William all into the pits. Yeah, no strategy at play, it seems. I'll double check on the race director if everybody has actually used the hards. I'm pretty sure they have. Yeah, literally every driver has used hard tyres. Amazing. But yes, let's see what goes on then for the remainder. Obviously, Viral, Boy Knockout, Viking, French, these guys were waiting for a safety car. Now they've got the safety car. And yes, Ziggy, indeed, box. Boy Knockout trying to get as close as he can to Vival, although you need to be a bit careful. You don't want to be getting side by side and getting an unnecessary penalty. It's just overtaking him. He's giving it back, but oh, what's going on here? The game's probably told Vival to give it back, but you shouldn't have to. What's going on now? Vival staying out, eh? He hasn't pitted yet. Vival staying out on the hard tyres. He's not pitting. Actually, quite a few are not pitting, but a lot of the drivers not pitting are those who pitted earlier on. He might do. It might be worth another clip, but I don't know why Vival's not pitting here. He's the only one yet to pit in this race. He's on 13 lap old hard tyres. And all of those from P10 down are pretty much on mediums and could run them to the end. I mean, Dutch Beast is on hard. He's in a very difficult position. But Vival not pitting on 13 lap old hard tyres. I mean, that's pretty crazy to me. Halfway through the race, you're not going for the mediums to the end. I mean, wow. That's a big strategy call. And let's see if that's a bottle job or not. Because Vival looking good in this race to get a strong result.
I am stupid.
Doug obviously putting his opinions down on why Vival was staying out. Right, William then. He's ahead of Iceman and Ivy, who have pitted for 7 lap old hard tyres. Again, not sure that was the best strategy call from those two. But we won't talk too much on bad strategy calls. Don't know, is parkour in the chat? But maybe we could talk parkour on bad strategy calls. I might go for a little cheeky. What was it? Medium hard at Bahrain. That was a little strategy, wasn't it, eh? Still almost got a podium from that as well. That was mental. But Vival, 13 laps on hards. Don't know why, but you know what? He's taking a risk, and it's a massive risk here. Is there enough experience in that risk, or maybe a little bit of inexperience at this level? I mean, still wonder, has he gone? Has he got it in him to go above this level? Well, based on strategy, probably not. Based on pace, yeah. Vival stays out. Salty Stevens, Drac. I mean, they're all probably going to stay out now. Oh, now he's pitting. Wow. I'm going to be honest. I think he's just absolutely bottled this. He's going to go for first mediums, and he is going to be, unless anyone else pits, he is going to be most likely near enough last place here. Would he be literally last? He might get ahead of Ivy. It's going to be pretty close. He might just take Ivy. Ivy's trying to really push here. Ivy's going to have to try and push harder, but he's not going to. So he has got one place out of that. But Virao is P18. He's on fresh mediums, don't get me wrong. He's on the freshest tyres, but P18. Be lucky if the mediums last. They'll last. They will last, but they will feel a bit slippery near the end of the race. But he will last now. Don't forget, you've gone a few laps as well under the safety car. So obviously drivers will be, yes, they will have what 15, 16 laps on them coming the end of the race. But you've got to factor in a few of those laps were under the safety car. So they won't be too bad. That's my kind of strategy there, Cinders. Oh, if you were going to pit, just pit already. Don't pit on the next lap when you're going to literally go from P1 down to P18. He would, okay. He wouldn't have been P1 because all of those on the harder tyres would be ahead. Don't get me wrong. But he would have been ahead of Viking Fox. And he would be the lead runner on the freshest tyres. And all of a sudden now, instead of being P9, he's P18. Yeah, that's how bad of a fumble that was from Virao. The safety car is in the lap. Once again, we'll get the telemetry up and see how the restart is. Again, just keep it clean for Salty Stevens. Don't want to be getting an unnecessary penalty. Make sure the safety car gets into the pit as well. Try to retain your level of throttle if you can, obviously. Has anyone got any tips to save tyre life? Well, it depends on how much you're pushing a car as well. If you're not pushing too hard, you can save them better. But yeah, it depends on driving style, right? Silky Stevens, he is away. A little bit slippery on the curve as well, but he is going. And now we are back up and running with Salty, Destroyer Jack and Wagner in P3. The two Williams. Jack is in a Williams sandwich right now. Silky Stevens in fourth. And it's that top three who have got a really strong getaway. Destroyer Jack having a look on the outside. Oh, what's that? Boy Knockout's out. Boy Knockout is out of the race. One of the key title contenders this season. It's another safety car. And now, I mean, Virao is probably kicking himself by the fact that he stayed out for that extra lap. There's another safety car. Now, all of those in the older hard tyres may just say, you know what, I might just pit now for mediums. But is this the worst thing for them? This may very well be the worst scenario for these hard tyre runners. They might have to try and take these to the end, or pit now for mediums and lose a host of positions. Interesting strategies to come here. But I think that top 7, along with the likes of Spills and then a couple of drivers further back, may have to pit here. Let's see if they are going to. But Salty Stevens is going to be the first of those to take a choice and make a decision. You may very well see Viking Fox leading the field here after these next pit stops. And the medium tyres, where you go in this lap, they will definitely very easily get you to the end. So we'll have a little bit fresher tyres, but not much fresher. Let's see, so Salty Stevens is in. Destroyer Drax stays out along with Wagner. Actually, quite a number of these drivers are going to stay out. Woody is also heading into the pits. Interesting strategy calls from a few drivers there. 5 of them, I think, all staying out on the 11 lap old hard tyres. Is that a fumble from that top 5, or is that the best decision they could have made? So Ivy is now left, but Ivy can rejoin on me or the race control. But Spills now coming out of the pits. Fresh mediums, he had to prepare his wing as well. Yeah, now the strategy has changed. You've got 5 drivers on 11 lap old hard tyres. You've got the next group of 5 drivers on 3 lap old medium tyres. Then you've got a bit of variety between P11 down, where a few drivers on fresh mediums. You've got a couple on 10 lap old hards. You've got a 4 lap old hard. You've got a couple of fairly fresh mediums out there as well. So a lot of variety from P11 down. But that top 10 is either 11 lap hards or 3 laps mediums. So that is a variety for them. Not much variety whatsoever. But yeah, that's unfortunate for Boy Knockout. That's one of the key title contenders this season out of this race. And because of that, well, I do want to have a little look. What is the standings right now for Tier 2? Where is it? So we're going to go to the standings. Let's go into the form if we can find it. Standings. Right, I want to see because I think Boy Knockout may very well be near enough there with Silky Stevens in Tier 2. So looking at the standings. So Boy Knockout was 4 points ahead of Silky Stevens. 4 points. Oh wait, no, that was after China. Oh yeah, no, that was after China. That's perfect. So 4 points was the gap. Boy Knockout was ahead of Silky Stevens by 4 points heading into this race. And now with the DNF, obviously, that will not be a lead any longer. So Silky Stevens is near enough dead cert to take the lead unless something happens to him. Then the likes of Warner, you've got Viking, you've got Destroyer Drac as well. They can all potentially take advantage and close that gap. But that Boy Knockout DNF will be absolutely massive in this 12 race season. We're already on round 5, so almost approaching the halfway stage, and Boy Knockout will lose some vital points here at Abu Dhabi in Tier 2. Right, Destroyer Drac then, Warner, Silky, Potwash, DD Friend and Safety Car will be in this lap, I'm pretty certain of that. And then we'll get 11 laps of running until the end of the Grand Prix. Yeah, a very close sort of title battle up there, I'm imagining, especially now Knockout's out. Silky Stevens is on older tyres, so can he hold it out on those hards and go right to the very end? Yeah, I mean, he will try his best, but how will he perform? That's the question. Right, safety car is in this lap. Let's get the telemetry up again. Something else happened. Looks like it is involving Badger with Mickey, but it seems pretty clear. What's that? That's a McLaren. That's looks like it might have actually been DB Friend, but it's just closing back up now. Got to make sure you're behind the car in front of you. No more Max Verstappen stuff. You've got to be behind the car, not alongside. Or for these safety car restarts. But let's see here, Destroyer Drac, 3/10 of course to Warner, but when will Destroyer Drac push and go? And go he will, because Destroyer Drac is off now. Back to the telemetry being off, and he is back underway. What's happened to Woody? Woody's had something happen. He is down into P18 behind Spills and Salty. And Salty Stevens is up into 16th position here. You've also got a bit of battle ahead. V-Row ahead of Iceman. Side by side they go. And looks like V-Row is through. Ivy having a look on the outside line as well. He may charge round the outside. There's a bit of damage there for Salty Stevens as well. Salty has damage. These three going at it. Hell for leather. But has they got a place now? Salty Stevens is ahead of Iceman with the damage, but far fresher tyres. And up into P14 he goes. DD Friend having a little battle further up with Viking Fox. We will now go on towards them. And DD Friend losing a couple of spots to his own teammate as well. And may lose another to ARC Mickey rather. Mickey is through. And Angry Badger follows him. And that is about 4 places lost through 2 corners for DD Friend. Disappointing for him. But again, he's on older tyres compared to those 4 drivers who have just overtaken him. So that is how much the medium tyres will have an advantage at this stage in this Grand Prix. Still, 10 laps of racing to go after this lap. And you've got that top 4 will be under immense pressure from the fresher medium tyre runners here. DRS enabled. Drac, Warner, Silky, Potwash. Can any of them do anything to win this Grand Prix, or is it an impossible job? Lottie closing in, having a look on the inside of DD, who breaks a bit later. A Dutch Beast flies past. In comes Beast, and here comes V-Row. V-Row is going to push hard. He's going to switch to the inside. He's going to go back to the outside. And now he will just miss out. You've got Willie Fernandez there as well, but side by side you've got Dutch Beast having a move on DD Friend here. He's surely going to go. Vival side by side with Rotti as well. Those two pushing. Silky Stevens is alongside Warren, and that's further up the field. And it looks like those two really going after. Let's go towards them for now. It's Silky ahead of Warner, Viking ahead of Potwash. So Viking Fox has got a place here. Frenchie, Mickey and Badger. What's happened side by side? There's a bit of contact further back potentially. DD Friend's involved. And DD Friend is at the rear of the field. Side by side here between Potwash down the inside on Epic Frenchie. Still squabbling, going hard at it. And it looks like Epic Frenchie has just pulled his car slightly ahead. But Potwash trying to hold it round the outside. Unable to do so, going for an audacious switch back here, Potwash. Can he hold anything together? Or what about Mickey? Mickey not quite making it through either. And Mickey just having to drop back into 7th, getting ever so close to Potwash on fresher tyres there, ARC Mickey. He can still get himself a podium, he'll feel, if he can really march on. And down the inside he goes on Potwash, and it looks like he's got the place surely now. Yes, he has. Can he hold it? Yes, he will. And up into 6th goes Mickey. Side by side again. You've got Badger, you've got Potwash, you've got Beast. They're all going at it here. The V-Row behind them as well. But that is Badger on the inside of Potwash. Yellow flag. Spills is out. He's retired. Is that an on-track retirement for Spills? I thought I saw his car moving. It seems okay. Well, it seems like it's potentially fully crashed now. It is only a virtual safety car. Obviously no overtaking. Dutch Beast and V-Row. I think V-Row momentarily overtook Beast. Hence why Beast has taken it back. The virtual safety car has been called out, meaning that may very well be the last of the action for safety cars. Destroyer Jack has got over 1 second on Silky. You do not want to get a drive-through penalty. You do not want to be in the red, on the Delta, on the restart. Will anybody... Oh! What's that? That's Dutch Beast. I think Dutch Beast has gone into Badger. He's received a 10-second penalty as well for going into Angry Badger. And I'm afraid to say, he's parking his car. But yeah, I think Dutch Beast might have to sit and say and retain that 10 seconds. It did look like it just went into him. But we are waiting on this restart here for Destroyer Drac. When will it go? Here we go. And there's no drive-through penalties. V-Row gets through an Angry Badger. And that was very early as well. He's going round the outside on Mr. Potwash as he sailed past. There's contact. There's contact. If anything, it looked like Potwash may have gone into V-Row rather than the other way around. I think V-Row may be safe from a penalty for that, just from what I saw. But he's up into 7th place. Potwash then will drop down the order. Woody side by side with Iceman. Ivy trying to get involved as well. Will Ivy have an attempt round the outside on Mr. Potwash? Potwash, who was unlucky a moment or two ago, but now he's under a lot of pressure. Ivy having a little squibble there against DD Friend as well. Can DD Friend get himself firmly involved in this battle? He's having a look here. He's definitely more than having a look. You've got Ivy through the middle. You're not going to go 3 wide through here, lads. You're not going to go 3 wide. They're going to go 2 wide. They're not even going to go 2 wide. Amazing. Yes, they are actually. Ivy and Potwash trying. And Ivy getting through on Potwash. Up into P15 he goes. Let's go further up the field towards the leaders. Silky Stevens, Destroyer Jack, Warrener. They are all within a second. But then you've got Viking Fox and Epic Frenchie on fresher tyres as well in 4th and 5th. They can still go on to win this race here. None of the top 7 have a time penalty as well. You've got the 2 Red Bulls on 6th and 7th. Epic Frenchie followed by ARC Mickey, 26.130 for the fastest lap. You will gain a point if you can hold on to it. Lap 23. What will be the marching orders? Who will come away with victory here at the Yas Marina circuit? Silky Stevens, is he in the best position possible? Iceman 86 receiving a time penalty. Willie Fernandez up into the top 10. He overtakes Rotti. Ivy as well, battling with DD Friend. He had a look on the outside. He's going to have a look on the inside. Doesn't go for the move, but we're going to have to go off the order again. Side by side here between Drac and Silky. And Silky Stevens trying to hang it round the outside. He drops in behind. Then it's Viking Fox. Is he going to go for an overtake as well? But Silky Stevens will get straight into this. He's going to go for the overtake, Silky Stevens. Is he going to take the lead? Side by side into the hairpin. And Silky Stevens leads the Grand Prix. Yes, he does a bit of contact. Jack making a little bit of contact on the exit with Silky. Nothing too major. But you've got the overtake done. And up he goes. He's up into P1, Silky Stevens, but a Viking Fox now ahead of Wovaner into third position. And now Viking has an opportunity here. Aston is having just as many bad luck as in real life. Defo not a skill issue, says Coffee. Yeah, I mean, I have good luck. I think I might be the only one in the team getting good luck at the moment. Silky Stevens, Destroyer Jack, Viking Fox, Wovaner, ARC Mickey, your top 5 vying for victory. But has anybody else got it in them? Maybe V-Row, maybe Epic Frenchie. Can any of them close up? Further adrift is going to be a struggle. I think it's got to be one of that top 7 to come away with victory here at the Yas Marina circuit. And it could genuinely be any of them in that top 7. They have all got strong pace here, even though you've got such variety in the strategy. Wovaner is going to have a look around the outside on Viking Fox. Viking holds on. Badger overtaking Salty Stevens. Don't forget Salty has got damage. That's probably why Salty Stevens will be out of the running for a potential race win. That's because I have Stroll's car. Yeah, Stroll's car this season is the best. And speaking of the best, side by side between Destroyer Jack and Silky Stevens. They're continuing to vie, continuing to battle. And Drac is on top. And back up into the lead. And Viking Fox here slips it. Viking slips down the inside. He's up into second. And Viking Fox may be in winning territory here. He has got the position. And he will be all over Destroyer Jack. V-Row received a 3-second time penalty, and that is a critical penalty in this race. But Viking Fox now must feel he is in prime position to come away with a Yas Marina victory. What about Wovaner though? He is behind Silky Stevens, and he is within 0.3 of a second to come away with the victory. Well, a podium on Silky, and can he even match her victory as well? After such a strong start to the season from Wovaner's perspective, he is really going to hope for another brilliant result. Wovaner then, here he comes. He's going to go for the overtake on Silky Stevens. They are both on the same old tyres, but Wovaner down the inside on Silky Stevens. Side by side they go. We will go on board with ARC Mickey because there's a slow exit from 1 and 2. Can Mickey get the pair of them? Down the straight they go all round the bend into turn 9 at the hairpin. They are all going at it. Jack going side by side for the lead. He is battling with Vikings, and Viking Fox goes for a narrow line, trying to take Destroyer Jack here. Jack just holds on for another lap here on lap 25. So it's still Jack from Viking in the top 2. Then you've got Wovaner from Mickey and Silky. V-Row still there. Frenchie has dropped off. He's got Salty, Badger and William for company. The battle now is between the top 5 to come away with the race win. Destroyer Jack then leads by half a second from Viking Fox. Still anything can happen in this Grand Prix. Anything. What will occur here in this race? And what a battle it has been. If you want to join, Jake, we've sent the Discord in. Feel free to let me know if I need to send another invite just in case that one has expired. Hopefully it's not yet. But Destroyer Jack, Viking, Wovaner, Mickey, Silky. Who do you think will come away with the victory? It could be any of those 5 drivers. Okay, you may not want to discount others, but it seems highly unlikely that anybody else will take a win. DD Friend receiving a time penalty as well. Maybe we'll get a time penalty situation on. There you go. 3 seconds and then 6 seconds for Salty Stevens. Woody through on Rotty. He's up into P11 now. Doesn't look like he's going to quite get into the top 10. But the battle for the win is still on the card here. Destroyer Jack still leads on lap 26. Viking Fox, though, he will want to close the gap. I've just seen on the front right there, Viking Fox has got some front wing damage, which is potentially why he has not yet taken the lead, and also why the likes of Warren and Mickey and Silky have a shot to still win alongside Destroyer Jack here. It's a phenomenal battle. V-Val will hope to do something. He is in 6th with his teammate ARC Mickey to try and march on to victory. Anything can occur here as we enter the final 3 laps of the race. Drac still out in front. A 6-way battle for the win, for the podium, for a top 6 finish. And Woody with a 3-second time penalty as well now. So P11 looks pretty much set in stone for the Haas, even though he looks a little bit quicker right now than Epic Frenchie ahead of him. Frenchie, by the way, down to P10. He has dropped places and also a lot of time. As we see Warrener side by side here with Viking Fox. They're really taking a risk now. Warrener may have witnessed the damage from Viking. He realises the Haas is slow. And now Warrener is going to charge. But do not rule out this man. ARC Mickey in the Red Bull. He decides to put out of a move. Warrener then still behind Viking Fox. He will get DRS, as will Viking, who is edging closer towards the rear of Destroyer Drac. 7 tenths, 6 tenths now. It will drop to half a second, but Destroyer Drac retains the race lead. Still, anyone's victory here. Who will get it? Drac, Viking, Warrener, Mickey, Silky. Silky Stevens closing the gap towards Mickey. Mickey certainly closing the gap towards Warrener. He may even take a risky move here on the Williams. If he wants to get onto the podium at a bare minimum, he will have to go for it here. ARC Mickey, former Tier 1 champ, former Tier 2 champ. Tier 2 champion in Season 3, Tier 1 champion in Season 4. Now we're in Season 9. Yes, it's been a couple of games since then, but he has made his return last season, and he is back firing on all cylinders now. Is he back in form as well? Can Mickey take a victory here this evening? What about Destroyer Drac? He's been an experienced member of Tier 2. He's been in Tier 1 before as well for a couple of seasons. Drac still has strong pace. Viking has also been here for a couple of seasons now. He has got great pace. Warrener was Tier 3 in Season 8 for a few races. Went up to Tier 2 and he is showcasing his talents. But ARC Mickey makes a place on Warrener. Silky Stevens, your championship leader, going for the double. He's made the double. What a double overtake by Silky Stevens. Is he trying to get himself in prime position to win here? He has got Viking ahead. Viking on the inside. Silky's going to have a look around the outside line. They can go side by side. Has Silky got the place? Oh, he's got a bit of damage. Silky has got damage. He's made contact with Viking. Both of them have damage now. Destroyer Jack has a chance to put away for the win. ARC Mickey still has a shot. He's still got both of his wings fully intact here. He can still take second. But I think Destroyer Drac has got the win sewn up. He's got one final lap to go. He cannot lose this now. Destroyer Drac has 1.1 seconds. He is outside of the DRS 1 second window. So the battle may very well be for second now. Viking, Silky, Mickey, Warrener, V-Val still in there, but he's got a 3-second penalty. Nobody wants to receive a late 3-second penalty here. Certainly not if you're in that top 5. And what a battle it will be. Destroyer Drac, he has cleared the DRS of the cars behind him. So Silky Stevens will be the first one to get any DRS. Has he got enough battery to first of all make an overtake and secondly defend from ARC Mickey? They're all going to go for here. Mickey has to back out in the end, but Silky Stevens side by side here with Viking. Silky is through. Yes, he is. Silky to second. Amazing. And now can ARC Mickey do anything? They've all got the red lights flashing. Yellow flags for Dutch Beast further down the field. But Viking had a look on the inside of Silky. He's at risk now because Mickey will go for the move round the outside. A bit of contact. ARC Mickey now on the inside. Mickey onto the podium. He is up into P3 and may be about to be his first podium of the season even. But ARC Mickey has finally got a strong position, but nobody has a stronger grasp on this race than your race winner at the Yas Marina circuit. Destroyer Drac wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Silky in second, Mickey on the podium. Viking 4th, Warrener 5th, V-Row in 6th after a pretty poor strategy call earlier in the race, but he recovers for top 6. William with an excellent 7th, Badger in the top 8, he'll be happy with that. Salty Stevens P9, Frenchy 10th, Woody 11th, Ivy comes home in 12th with a respectable finish from the Tier 3 reserve. Potwash will enter P13. You've got Rotty in 14th. There was a crash on the line there. DD Friend, and you got Iceman. I think that was Iceman crashing at the line. And Dutch Beast also will enter in at P17. But then you got Spills and Boy Knockout have retired. And what a ferocious race we've had on offer here at Abu Dhabi. Tends to offer brilliant races. I still remember the season 7, I believe it was. Kingy OG, I think, was in there. I mean, what a race that was, by the way, in season 7. I don't think we had. Did we have it on the calendar in season 8? We might not have done, but we've definitely got it back now. And there you go. What a sublime piece of racing the drivers have tried here tonight. And in the end, there has to be a winner, and Destroyer Jack is that winner, and he gets the in-game drive of the day. I do believe as well that was a last to first for Destroyer Jack. P19, I think, to P1. I will double check it, but I'm pretty certain it was P19 to P1 for Drac here. Wow, what a battle, what a race. Incredible scenes here this evening. And the podium celebrations are on for you. Right, the full race classification, and Destroyer Jack indeed goes from P19 to take the victory with Silky Stevens on the podium. ARC Mickey also from P17. Qualifying bans not really necessary for Destroyer Jack and ARC Mickey. They get podiums anyway. Viking Fox 4 from Warrener in 5th. With V-Row in the top 6 as well. William in P7 from Badger, Salty and Epic Frenchy. He's satisfied with a top 10. Or no, you may feel he could have got better. Woody, Ivy, Potwash and Lottie. And you got DD Friend, Iceman and Dutch Beast, the final race to the finish. You got Spills and Boy Knockout retiring from the Grand Prix. There you go, that's been your action here from the Yas Marina circuit, round 5 of 12 in Tier 2. And what can we do for UFRL for the next few races going on for the rest of this week then? Let's have a look at the race calendar. Right, tomorrow night is Tier 3, and it will be a it won't be. It will be a mystery track tomorrow in Tier 3. So that is 8 o'clock PM for the Wednesday on that one. Looking forward to that. A number of tracks up for grabs. And whichever track it will be wheeled out just before the lobby is about to kickstart the event as well. So all the drivers will be in the lobby. They won't know what track it will be. And then it will be wheeled out from there. So that's how it will go. 100% tier Friday night. It'll be 8 o'clock PM. We'll be heading to Las Vegas. A typical fan favourite on that one. International tier, Saturday, 9 o'clock PM, 1 hour later than usual. And that'll be held at Spa. So we'll be heading to Belgium for that one. Then back on Monday night next week for Tier 1. It will be held at Jeddah for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And next weekend, Tier 2, we will be heading to Hungary in Europe. And that will be a significant downforce event there. Making sure your wings are high for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Right, let's see if there's anybody wanting an interview. Definitely one driver is. I can see they're very eager. But yes, let's get the interview screen up for you guys. Then there you go. Right. I'm trying to think as well, because I know he started in P19. A lot of variety on the strategy calls too. But let's head into the chat. I'm just going to get a quick drink before I get into the chat, actually, because I know I'm a little bit thirsty after such a brilliant race that one was. Right, we are back, and we will join the interview room now. Right then, so we are here in the interview room and we are now prepared with our guest for today and our race winner. Good evening, Destroyer Jack.
Evening, Viva. How
Hello,
are
how are
you?
you, man? Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How about you?
I am very happy. Badly wanted this win after a long time, so I'll take it. Never expected it to do it from the back of the grid. Guess the safety cards played its part as well, and I just managed to hold on to those hearts.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
in terms of obviously qualifying, you had a qualifying ban going into this one. So, what was your sort of mindset going into it with a qualifying ban?
Yeah, I mean, my mindset was that try to keep it clean, take it one car by one car, because my mindset was that I would try to be at least in the top five, maybe top six. If something was beneficial, maybe top three, top four. And yeah, maybe I actually went on the mediums. Was thinking of doing a very big undercut because the hearts are like really good here.
Yeah, yeah,
So I thought I would do a big undercut and then go for it. But luckily, the safety car came at the right time. Maybe 2 laps earlier, but it was around the same time that I wanted to box as well.
mm.
So yeah, it all worked out for me, to be honest, today.
Yeah. I mean, there were such different strategies and varieties. I mean, most of the drivers, obviously, well, everyone went for either
Mm,
mediums or the hards at the start.
mm,
And
mm.
then, yeah, a few safety cars obviously came in. So the first safety car, I'm trying to think, did you stay out on are you on mediums, were you at the start? So you,
The first safety car actually boxed to hearts from mediums.
okay, yeah.
And then the second safety car or the third safety car, I decided not to go for it because I think there were like still 13, not 13, maybe 14 laps or something. I knew the mediums would never last, and I would be a sitting duck with those old hearts as well. And if you saw the hearts, at least 5 to 6 laps were run under the safety car. So
Mm,
basically, there's no wear there. So pretty much around the same age of mediums and the same age of hards, the hards will obviously have a tire advantage. So yeah, just thought that would be the best choice and went for it.
yeah, I mean, you obviously went a long distance on those hard tires. Did you
Yeah.
know near the end of the race that I think there were a couple of drivers behind you who actually had wing damage as well?
No, not really. I think I heard you say once in the stream that either Warner or Viking Fox had a damage. And then
Mm,
I realized why he was struggling in the last sector. Yeah, so I was trying to go, but I think he had a very good straight line speed. I initially had broken the toe of the. I mean, I went out of the DRS zone, but then there was a virtual safety car, and then my tires got cold. So on this game, I'm still struggling to heat up the tires quickly, so I'm losing a lot of time there. So Silky Stevens got back to me, and then I was fighting with them. So that's how I got back into the DRS zone. Otherwise, I had cleared them actually by 1.2, 1.3 seconds.
yeah, no, good stuff. And
Mm.
yeah, obviously you had to push hard at the end to try and clear them from that 1 second window, and you did that very well. And obviously at the
Yeah,
end got your victory.
yes, very happy with that. Very happy, and I think half of it I didn't make. I didn't make any mistakes in the last 2 laps, and also I think the three or four drivers behind me were fighting quite a bit. I was checking in my virtual rear view mirror, so I knew that this was the time. So I just burnt all the battery that I had to get out of the DRS zone, and then after that it was quite difficult for them to catch up, and then I just had to maintain the 1 second gap for
Mm,
the last lap, which I did. So
yeah, no,
yeah.
you did that really well. I'm just looking at the standing, so that would put you on 110 points that victory. Boy
Mhm.
Knockout, who got DNF'd, if you consider him a title contender, where he's got 119, so you'd only be 9 behind Boy Knockout with that win.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, the standings can be quite interesting. Even Gandalf missed out today, so he will be
yeah,
another
yeah,
contender
you'll
coming
be
in the
ahead of
next
him.
race. Mm.
Yeah, you'll be ahead of him
Oh,
now.
okay.
So you'll be
Yeah,
ahead of
you'll be
Gandalf. You'll be
trying.
just behind Knockout. You'll be behind Silky. Silky Stevens would have opened up a little bit of a gap now. Um,
Okay, yeah. Mm.
a think you might.
Yeah, he's been very
Potentially.
consistent.
Yeah,
I
you
guess he
might be
has
ahead of
finished on the
Wobbener.
podium for all the races now.
Mm. Yeah,
Mm.
there's a chance you might be P3, but it's going to be pretty close between you, Wobbener, Viking as well.
Okay, okay. Mm.
Yeah, you'll be in and around that group, P3, P4, P5.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see what happens after the stewards report. I think there will be many incidents, as I can see. Mm.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with
Yeah.
that. But yeah, for tonight, though, got the victory and marching on to next week, which will be at Hungary. So are you looking forward to that one?
Been a long time since I raced there, but F123 has served me well there, so hoping for a good result there. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, good stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, for this evening, mate, congratulations on your victory, and we'll see what happens next week. And good luck for that one, mate.
Yeah. Thank you, mate. Have a good evening. Thank
You
you so
too,
much.
mate. No, you're welcome. There you go. So that was Destroyer Jack, your race winner this evening here in UFRL. I'm just going to have a little look actually because I think we have an esports race tonight, or we had one. From what I see from the results. Okay, so I've got results here actually. So, oh, we've done very well. We've done very well. I'm not even sure what league it is in, but I've only got a few of our drivers' results here. So, our lowest position was Hazer. He got P6. Lowest position, by the way. P6 for Hazer. This is for the UFRT esports team. Second position, the Bird. First position, Deck. Deck won for UFRT esports team in the race this evening. Again, I'm not certain which one it was in. Maybe if I have a little check on the section. They might have mentioned it in the community lounge to see what league it was in. But either way, Deck and Bird 1 and 2, Hazer P6, and he actually had a incident in that race as well, which was why I think he dropped down to 6th. So as you can hear, they all done extremely well. So congratulations to all of Deck, Bird, and Hazer for all of their top 6 finishes. I mean, 1 and 2 and a top 6, absolutely brilliant results for them. So very well done to all of those drivers. But yeah, for tier 2 this evening, thank you for everyone for tuning in, watching the show, whether it's across Twitch or whether it's on TikTok. A fantastic race. A few safety cars, don't get me wrong, but it helps bring the racing alive, especially in those last 6 or 7 laps. It was absolutely incredible to watch. We'll be back again then for myself on Friday night, and tomorrow night we'll be back on for UFRL. We have been UFRL, I have been UFRL F1 Viva. Thank you for watching, and good night.